Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Matt from All Day Everyday Preparedness, and this is All Day Everyday Preparedness News. Have another story for you guys about the carbon footprint tracker and the World Economic Forum, guys. It continues, and it's continuing every single day and every single week until finally they're going to try to enslave all mankind with this new world system. Stick around for that and more in just a moment. Hey guys, you can help and support this channel right now by liking, sharing, and subscribing, as well as watching the videos through to the end. Now, unfortunately, there's many people out there that are still asleep. There's so many people that are not awake, and some people don't want to be awake. But it's our job to wake up the ones that want to wake up. And by your support, we can do that. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to this important video on the World Economic Forum and the carbon footprint tracker. All right, guys, before I get started with this article, I wanted to remind you guys to continue to prepare, continue to stock up on your food, water, and supplies. We all know about the food shortages. We all know about the empty shelves. We all know that SHTF is coming, so you need to be SHTF ready. All right, guys, I have an article here for you guys from the World Economic Forum from September 14th that is titled My Carbon, an approach for inclusive and sustainable cities. So let's scroll down here to the 3 key points. Now it says, while transport and buildings are the major drivers for emissions in cities, the share of individual emissions is significant. So they want you to know that your share of your individual emissions is significant. Now it says personal carbon allowance programs have had limited success due to a lack of awareness and fair mechanism for tracking emissions. But guess what? Under this new system, it's going to be fair. You know why? Because every single human being on the planet, their carbon footprint is going to be tracked, traced, and recorded. And we're going to find out more about that in just a moment as we dive deeper into this article. Now it says, yet there have been major developments in recent years that could help realize My Carbon initiative. So again, they want the individual person to know about My Carbon. They want to make it seem so bad and make you feel so bad and shame you into doing exactly what they want you to do. And again, we're going to dive deeper into that in this article in just a moment. All right, guys, if we look here at the next paragraph down, it says, our world is transforming. Big community trends for sustainable cities. It says there have been significant developments in the last 5 to 7 years on social, environment, and technology fronts that could help realize My Carbon initiatives for shaping the future towards smart and sustainable cities. Now, this is a big one right here, guys. It says specifically to mention 3 developments in this context. Now, I'm not going to read that there listed under number 1 because you can see what that's about and what that says. It says that this was the test of social responsibility. And keep that in mind, guys, with everything that's went on. Keep that in mind because, yes, it was a test. It was a test, again, to see what you would do. And for most people, they failed that test. And most people are going to fail this test that's coming. It says a huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. So you got that, a number of unimaginable, right? Because never before had we had all those restrictions placed on us. And like it said, this was a test of social responsibility. And for many people, you did exactly what the government wanted you to do. But for your own fellow human being, you failed your own fellow human being by giving in to those restrictions. Now it says there were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health. See, they did all this under the guise of public health. And again, as you can see here, they're even telling you that this was a test. Now, they're not going to come out and tell you exactly how it all went down, but you should be able to read between the lines. If you're on this Prepper channel, you should be able to see and read between the lines and see, guys, that this was a test. How many sheep are going to follow and do what I tell them to do? And then again, unfortunately, many people fell for that trap. And unfortunately, many people are going to fall for it again. And again, sometimes it's like, why are you even making these videos? Because there's so many lost and asleep people out there. Sometimes, guys, I get frustrated, because there's so many lost and so many sleeping people out there. So I'm just like, why am I even making these videos? Because unfortunately, that's just the truth. So many people are not going to wake up. But I do it because I know there's a small percentage of people out there that's going to wake up. And they're going to get the message. And they're going to see exactly what world they live in. And it's not the world that they've been told about. It's a secret, dark world out there that at the end of the day is only in existence to control and enslave you, just like the Bible speaks of. And it's all shaping up right now. So that's why I make these videos, to wake those up that want to be awake, that don't want to sleep anymore. Now, if you fail for that trick, if you're watching this video and you failed for that trick last time, and you went for all those shenanigans and you listened exactly to the government and you was the first one in line down at your health department, then wake up. It's not too late. Wake up. Wake up now, because the system that's coming and the plan that's coming, the consequences are going to be dire. Okay, it's not just going to be like this. You're going to be under total control. And if you don't wise up and you don't wake up now, you're going to fall for it again. But like I said, this time it's going to be worse. And we're talking biblical repercussions. All right, let me finish this article here. It says, where I want to hit on, it says for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility. And that's exactly what they're doing with this climate change, guys. They want to put the focus onto you. You're a bad person because you drive too much. You're a bad person because you use too much energy. You're a bad person because you eat beef. You eat meat. We want you to eat bugs now. You know, we want you to turn your thermostat, like in California, up to 78 or higher when it's over 100 degrees, right? We want you to abandon gasoline, and we want you to go for these all new electric vehicles, even though you're not going to be able to power them up because the electrical grid may not even work for you to power your cars, right? But they want you to switch to electric vehicles. Again, social responsibility. You're all going to be enslaved under this new system, monitored, tracked, traced, and recorded. And we're going to see about that in just a moment. All right, here we go. Moving on to number 2, it says the fourth industrial revolution technology breakthroughs. It says advances in emerging technologies like AI. There we go. Blockchain. There we go as well. And digitization. There we go. It says it can enable tracking personal carbon emissions. And that's exactly what all this new technology is going to do, because every single person, like I said, on the planet is going to have a personal carbon footprint tracker. It says it can raise awareness and also provide individual advisories on lower carbon and ethical choices for consumption of products and services. The World Economic Forum's Scale 360 initiative demonstrates the use of the fourth industrial revolution technologies across the whole life cycle of products and services. It says there have been major advances in smart home technologies. And again, if you invite all this smart home technology into your home, guys, they're going to use it against you in the coming years. And even if you don't invite it in, it's probably going to be mandatory. You're going to have a mandatory smart thermostat. You're going to have a mandatory something like the Amazon Echo or Alexa or something like that, but it may be government controlled, government ran. You're going to have that in your home again, so they can monitor you 24/7. Okay, it says transport choices with carbon implications, the rollout of smart meters in providing individual choices to reduce their energy-related emissions, and the development of new personalized apps to account for personal emissions, and better personal choices for food and consumption-related emissions. So there you have it, guys. They're going to control you in your home with smart home technologies. They're going to talk about your transport choices with carbon implications, so how you're traveling, how you're transporting your family or your goods, the smart meters, as well as the carbon footprint tracker. And now they're talking about your better personal choices for food and consumption-related emissions. So they're going to be targeting what you're eating and how much of it you're eating. And is that bad? Oh, I decided to eat some beef today. Oh, so I'm docked negative 50 points. So that means I can only run my electricity for 2 days and then I have to shut it off for a week. These are the things that's coming, guys. Now it says AI can also help strengthen circular economy business models like product and services, demand predictions, and smart asset management by combining real-time and historical data from products and users. Now it says there is a significant number of programs and applications enabling citizens to contribute towards carbon emissions by providing them in-depth awareness on the choices of personal carbon for food. There we go again, because I decided to eat some steak or I decided to eat some chicken. Oh, that's bad for the environment, so I'm docked 50 points. Or your transport, guess what? Or your home energy and your lifestyle choices. So if you can't see, guys, already how this is shaping up in the new world, in this new one world system, you're going to be tracked, traced, and recorded. And don't think for one moment that you can buck this system. Number one, you better not accept this system. You better live outside of this system. And I'm speaking biblically about that. You better buck this system and stay and live outside of it. And if that means that you have to live outside in the woods, then guess what, guys? That's a harsh reality that you have to face and that you need to be preparing for right now. And again, that's why I make these videos, because that's why I say this is bigger than SHTF. Because this is going to be a system of rule, a system of law, that if you don't cooperate, there's going to be some harsh penalties in here. And you just have to be willing to forego those and know that you're going to be okay in the long run because you didn't give up your soul. You didn't give up your life. You didn't accept some kind of implant into your body that tracks what you're eating and what you're drinking and how much you're driving and this and that and the other, guys. That is the future. It's coming. I promise you guys. And I'm not trying to be like on a rant here or just jumbled up thoughts, but if that's the way it's coming across, I apologize, but I get worked up on these things, guys, because I see it coming. I see it happening. And again, there's so many sleeping people out there that think they live in a world that they can just listen to their government and trust their government and not think critically. You have to think critically about these things. Number 3, it says raised awareness and ownership for nature and environment. It says in the last few years, there's an increased awareness and public concern on climate change, and especially among youth. The UNDP's The People's Climate Vote reflects that over 64% of people believe climate change is a global emergency. A new Pew Research Center survey in 17 advanced economies found widespread concern about the personal impact of global climate change. Now, 80% of citizens say they are willing to change how they live and work to combat the effects of climate change. And what I say about that, that's an 80% indoctrination rate. That's an 80% sheeple rate, guys. And unfortunately, before this is all said and done, that 80% is going to be more like 90-some%. People are going to fall for this scam, and unfortunately, they're going to be enslaved by it. But that's just all we can do. There's nothing we can do about it but warn those that will wake up and see and not be a part of this system. But again, 90-some% of people are going to fall for this system. Now let's move on down here to the next thing. Now this is big here as well. It says, what's next? Sustainable cities enabled through smart communities. Now it says the 3 trends provide strong evidence towards enabling a social movement for My Carbon initiatives by enabling public-private partnerships to help curate this program. It is suggested to drive a 3-way approach to shape this movement. And as we see here, economic behavior, and that's going to be key because they want to change your behavior. They're going to indoctrinate you. They actually already are indoctrinating you little by little on the news, little by little in movies, little by little with the politicians. It says increased costs for carbon intensive activities and goods. Right. So if you still want to drive a gasoline car in the future, it's going to be really expensive to do so. If you still want to heat your home with firewood and the cheapest way for man to warm himself in the winter, guess what? You're going to be paying some type of climate tax that's going to be so high that you're not even going to do that anymore. I guarantee it. It says economic incentives to reduce demand and improve efficiency. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be enslaved by this new system if you accept this system. But again, I'm not telling you life is going to be easy outside of this system. That's just the way it is. It's not going to be easy. But unfortunately, many people are going to give into it because they're just going to do it. It's just a natural thing to do. Well, do I want to be able to buy and sell and eat and live, or do I want to live outside, But the people that get it, you're not going to accept this system. Now let's look here. It says cognitive awareness. It says raise visibility of personal carbon footprints. Right. Cognitive awareness. They're going to raise it. You're going to be able to see it. If you look back at the video I did on China about their social credit, it's going to be something similar to that, where you're going to be shamed. Oh, he's using too much energy, or she's using too much energy, or whatever. It's going to be publicly visible to get you to conform. Now it says raised awareness of personal carbon limits to sustain the transition to a net zero carbon society. See, we're never going to have no net zero carbon society, guys. The rich, like I said, they're jet setting across the country. These politicians take a private jet across the world. Those in the World Economic Forum. How do you think they get over there to Dubai or to Davos, Switzerland? They're flying by private jet. You think they're concerned about the climate change and carbon footprints? Not while they're flying their planes, right? But they want to limit you. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be limited, but they're still going to be able to do whatever they want to do because they're the so-called elite. All right, let's cover this last point here, social norms. It says a new definition of a fair share of personal emissions. So they're going to define what is your fair share of personal emissions, as well as setting of acceptable levels of personal emissions. And that's exactly what's going to happen, guys. This new world order, this one world system, this government in place is going to set an acceptable level of your personal emissions. And you're going to abide by those emissions if you fall into this system, because eventually it's going to enslave you. They're going to control how far you can drive, how far you can go, what food I can eat, what I can buy, when I can buy it, how much energy do I use. They're going to set those limits on you guys. And it's all under the guise of climate change. And yes, this system is here and this system is coming. And I hope for those that can wake up, you wake up. If you fell for the last trick and you went down to your health department, you rushed down to your doctor's office and you sat in line and you got your, you know what, don't fall for this one, because again, the consequences are going to be dire. Do not fall for this one, guys. Please wake up before it's too late. And I say that again, please wake up before it's too late. All right, let's finish this off here. It says such economic action will need policy enablement from city leadership through extensive discussion between stakeholders to arrive at a fair and inclusive approach. But guys, don't be fooled. This is going to be worldwide. And again, biblically speaking, every government in the entire world will be under rule from this system. The carbon footprint trackers, the digital money, the blockchain, the carbon footprint tracker, whatever, you name it. Before this is all said and done, guys, you will not even be able to go into a store and buy anything without identifying yourself first, because you've already had to submit to this new system. You're going to have to do a face scan, an eye scan, some type of thing to identify yourself just to be able to shop. So the freedoms of old guys, they're going out the window. So please wake up before it's too late. And already, as you see, they're trying to get us to refrain from meat. If you read your Bible, you know in the end times, that's one of the signs that they want to refrain from eating meat, as well as giving in marriage. Now, they haven't went on that yet, but we know with these globalists, with these population freaks, these weirdos, they want to reduce the population as well. So they haven't quite came out with that yet, but they are. They're going to start talking about that soon. They're already doing the meat, as you know, and before long, they're going to start talking about you don't need to have any more kids. You don't need to get married. You don't need to procreate, the population is too high. And those are your signs, guys. So for any of you guys that know what I'm talking about, please do your study, please do your research and understand what's going on. But again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, it helps my content get out there and wake more people up. Continue to prepare, guys, and as always, be blessed.